She literally says, I choose me. Okay. You know, is this Cinderella anymore?
Right.
I choose me, I choose me, I choose me, I choose me.
Oh boy.
I choose me, I choose me.
Look what this movie's done to this guy.
I choose me, I choose me, I choose me. What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm Paul.
I'm Morgan.
In today's video, Christians react to the new Cinderella movie. Came out recently. We watched it and we got some thoughts. And I am genuinely, I enjoy when we take on these just culture, movie, entertainment related stuff and we share our perspectives on it. To me, these are some of my favorite videos. Morgan, how are you holding up today? Talk to us, baby girl.
Oh my goodness. You guys know that I like to be real with y'all. And if you watched our live from last week, I was also struggling. It's been a rough little bit for me. So I don't really feel like getting into details because I'll probably just cry. So if you guys can just keep me in your prayers.
Keep Morgan and I, but specifically Morgan, in your prayers.
Yes.
Yeah, just to be real, sometimes we sit down. It's the normal time we have allotted to film. And maybe we're just being hit with something. That was earlier today, but we've taken some time, some prayer, and now we're back. We're ready to go, baby. Morgan, I appreciate you being here. I think it's gonna be a good video. And we got grace for you if you're not quite as exuberant and feisty as usual. But I think we all know once the camera starts rolling, Morgan, she gets into it. Once we start talking about Wokella.
First, subscribe to this channel because normally I'm not sad.
Oh, wow. That took the air out of it.
We make videos on culture and social issues from a Christian perspective to help you have hope.
And be free. Come on, Lord. Hope and freedom. Let's go. And guys, real quick, as you've heard us say, our patrons are literally the reason that we're able to continue to do this channel and these videos. If you like our content and you support what we're putting out, consider becoming a patron. Patreon.com/Paulandmorganshow, linked below.
And you guys, ordering merch closes at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, September 9th. So order now or forever hold your peace.
Morgan, so we watched Cinderella earlier this week, and it was mainly my idea.
And Cinderella is my absolute favorite movie, like Disney princess movie ever.
So you went into it like probably
no,
low
I saw the trailer and I was like, I'm not watching this.
And I forced her.
And then Paul, a few weeks later, was like, let's watch it and see.
There were just some intriguing aspects for me. Obviously, as you guys are aware, we're about to get into the fairy godmother situation. But I was thinking to myself, it's Cinderella. We've seen several remakes, and typically, like I think back on, 2014-ish Disney live action remake, I thought that was really good.
Well, I love that one.
So it was solid. It was a solid movie. Obviously, the old one is just
There's also been like 1,000 Cinderella remakes.
Right.
It's insane.
So when we got a new one surfacing, I am just kind of curious.
Same, but again, saw the trailer and was like, I'm no longer curious.
I saw the trailer and it made me pretty curious. So we watched it. I will say, just overall, as a movie goes, I kind of enjoyed it. Morgan gave it a little bit of a lower score.
It's lucky that I was doing work while watching it because I would not have been able to sit through that movie.
Wow, okay.
Just like watching it. No way, Jose.
So you weren't feeling the TikTok prince? He looked kind of like a classic TikToker, you know, and that's what they were going for. It was very clear this movie was like, all right, 2021, we got Camila Cabello, pop star. She'll be Cinderella, this sassy, independent pop star, which will feed into some of the independent elements that we're about to hit on. We'll throw in Billy Porter as the fairy godmother. Great idea there. And then we'll make the prince have an earring, and he'll just kind of have these cool, youthful. You see what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying. All right, let's just jump into something that stood out to us. What was the first thing that stood out to you?
Okay, I'll just go off the timeline of the movie. The fairy godmother didn't come in, until the right time. The first thing that stood out to me was how in your face woke They were about feminism and independent woman and I have a dream and I have to make it happen. No man, woman, or thing will get in my way. Everyone's gonna know my name.
Interesting.
The princess, you know, she's not waiting for some prince or anybody for that matter to save her. She is, as Billy Porter has said, the CEO of her own destiny.
There's one or two specifics that we're going to get to, but those come towards the end of the movie.
Yeah.
This honestly is probably nitpicking for me, but it's not really what you're saying. But the first thing to me that kind of stood out, they're having a kind of, what is it, like where the king and queen and prince come out and address the townsfolk. The king's given his address, and the king, they make the king just look like really just this
The worst.
whiny, misogynist, all about me. So fine, you know, there are kings that are like that.
The first several, like, introductions to men, they're all idiot, perverted, gross, weird guys.
Not necessarily all gross. There was, that one, but just there was just an overarching, it felt like, at least
Theme
early on,
of the men being
loser, misogynist, creeps, all that stuff. But there was women that weren't great either. So back to what I was saying, the royalty are addressing the common folk, and typically you have Cinderella who, yes, she's an independent woman, but she's also very sweet and very submissive, I would almost say. Like that's her kind of her personality. Is that awful to say? She has eyes for other people past Cinderella's. But in this scene, she is just sitting up on the statue of the king. Mm-hmm. Isn't it a statue of himself?
Yeah.
And she's just up on top sitting on him, like on the statue. And the king's like, hey, get off my statue. And she's kind of like, I couldn't see. She could kind of care less. She's just up sitting on the statue. She could not care less. Thank you. For me, it was a small thing, but I think that was kind of indicative of her behavior versus past Cinderella's. And then, like you said, this inward focused, I'm out for me. I'm out for my own success. And part of that is pushing back on that it was a man's world in that kingdom. Men were elevated to do the positions. Oh, and we forgot even to make in our notes, the sister. An element in the ending is you're seeing the sister of the prince. And of course, the king is just kind of
ignores her, brushes her off.
You cannot sit at the table when we're having our staff business meetings.
Ends up, the brother steps down. He doesn't want to be king. He wants to live happily ever after with his girl and follow her around the world.
And who takes over leadership?
Sister.
The sister.
I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that or whatever. Maybe. I don't know. But I am saying that it was just so in your face and so woke. And it's just like wokeism is ruining everything.
let's before you guys get on us too much for saying, Paul and Morgan, you're making a big deal about the sister taking over and becoming queen.
I'm fine with subtle movies and subtle, like, let's put this in from
it was
time
just,
to time, but this was just so...
began to predict so much.
5 to 10 minutes in, I literally predicted the whole thing. It was exactly right.
So back to the fairy godmother. I guess here's my thing with that. You got this movie, Cinderella. It's PG, because I wasn't sure, are they going to make this PG-13 and really give it edgy, woke? PG, so it's advertised as a kids movie to kids, teenagers, whatever, adults, but kids movie.
Yeah.
Suddenly they're throwing in and normalizing this man as the godmother who comes down in his sparkly dress and sequins.
And he didn't call himself fairy godfather, he called himself fairy godmother.
He was still fairy godmother.
I think the idea was to make him like genderless, but he was claiming fairy godmother.
I don't know what constitutes like a drag show. Mm-hmm. For a drag show, do the men need to be completely, when does it become a drag, full
Let's
drag?
Let's just say this would be an introduction. It would be an introduction to any child that sat down and watched this of like, hey, this is what cross-dressing is. This is what drag shows can look like or do look like. Like, this is a man wearing women's clothes and he loves it.
Just continuing with this overall mainstream culture, political, Hollywood push to normalize cross-dressing and gender fluidity. So now the fairy godmother, literally her title, the fairy godmother, is this man coming down in a dress.
If you're a Christian letting your kid watch this thinking, oh, who cares? It's not that big of a deal.
It is
you
just...
rethink.
The continuation of subjecting your kids to this type of stuff. So I was on Twitter and I actually saw Ben Shapiro respond to an article about Billy Porter as the fairy godmother. The article was from Entertainment Insider. Billy Porter explains why he's playing a genderless fairy godmother in Cinderella remake. Magic has no gender. Ben Shapiro, with his sassy quick-witted, common sense self responded, "No, but godmothers typically do. Magic has no gender, but godmothers typically do." And then he said, "It's in the word godmothers." I mean, it's almost like they are saying, we are going to normalize this, even though it's so outrageous. Like, literally, godmother, and we're bringing a man coming down. You guys, this is normal. This is a godmother. Wait, it's a man in a dress. No, it's a godmother.
I mean, we knew this. We know this. There is an agenda, and there is this strange, heavy-handed thing in so many movies and shows now of like, we are going to normalize this. We don't care what you people think. We will make it normal. Guys, please don't ever let it become normal. Please don't ever let this become normal in your household as a Christian family. This is not normal. If you want to use this as a teaching tool for your child, for your teenager, for yourself, okay, but it's not normal.
I've never seen a push like this, literally like PBS Kids. Mm-hmm. It's one thing if it's, it's one thing if it's the YA genre or the shows for teenagers. Yeah. But literally elementary age shows, and they are
toddler shows. I mean, the drag queens at the libraries for reading time for that's for 2-year-olds, 1-year-olds, 3-year-olds. That's toddlers, babies,
2-week-olds. I mean, so anyway, back to the as you described it, I think you called it woke feminism push. Mm-hmm. It was very clear to you. So there's this line, and I actually quoted it before it came out of Cinderella's mouth. You have the classic. She goes to the ball. She's all decked out with her slippers. Has to be out of there by midnight. But you already are getting this pretty strong taste of she wants to be a dressmaker. She wants to succeed at it.
Right.
And fair enough.
She comes to the ball not for the prince, but because she wants to have a business meeting with the rich people there to be able to sell her dresses and start her business.
Okay. Is this Cinderella anymore?
Right, it's not.
But fair enough. But she does end up dancing with the prince. It's going well.
And she falls in love, supposedly.
It's going well, but then that climactic moment where they're out in the courtyard. Doesn't he say to her, like, Cinderella, I choose you?
Yeah, he does.
I want you. And she literally says, I choose me. Words out of her mouth. The script writers literally wrote that, and I called it right as she was about to say it. I said, she's about to say, I choose me. Should we have
written this?
A better
story?
We should write our own Cinderella.
In this script.
And we will call it Traditionalist Cinderella. No, but she literally, like, can we just sit on that for a second?
Which I just want to say that the lead up to her saying that, like, the way the prince, said everything, it was really stupid. And it was like...
What do you mean?
Like, he was like, I choose you. That's it. You're my wife now.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna be the queen.
You're gonna do all the queenly...
He didn't even say, like, do you love me? Like, not, so it was just kind of like he was, like, forcing her almost into this of, like, I've chosen you, so you're mine now. Making it look like men look at women like they're their possessions, whatever.
Which he was much more understanding and much more in the feelings and emotions than most of the other men. Right, but I just thought that was absolutely meant to do that, like, to make it look like that, of like men. He's following in the classic stereotypes. Well, and he even said, you're gonna be the queen, you're gonna be my wife, but you're not gonna be able to do these things.
You can't have a dress shop.
That's not the queenly, roles.
So then she was like, well, if that's the case, I choose me. Gotta go my own way.
I choose me, and then piggybacking off of that, the classic ending where they do end up, and I know we're giving some spoilers, but...
Don't waste your time watching this movie.
I kind of liked it, other than some of this stuff. I ranked it a 6 out of 10.
Ew, I rated it a 2 out of 10.
I ranked it a 6 out of 10, and I'm standing by that.
I rated it 2 out of 10 because I liked some of their costumes and the scenery.
Well, anyway, you get another big part where it's like, all right, what are you guys like? Are you guys a couple? What are your plans? Because you
Right.
guys are, they've decided we've worked this out and we are going to be together.
Yeah, his queen mom and dad, they were like, oh, yay, we have a wedding to throw. And he was like, well, actually, guys, we're postponing the wedding. We're not getting married. But we are going to go travel the world together for her job.
We're going to travel the world together for her job.
But we're not getting married.
Well, I don't even know
But
if
we're in love.
they said for her job, but it was
But
implied.
it was for her job,
Okay,
yeah.
'cause
Because
she
she got
was-
hired by some queen lady.
So, just the classic, we are putting off marriage, we're putting off the wedding, and it literally was to travel the world together. Which,
If that's not every millennial in 2021, I don't know.
I mean,
what
this
is.
was the Gen Z the Gen Z movie, if there's been a Gen Z,
Gen
secular
Z
Gen
/
Z.
millennial.
We're going to put off marriage and the wedding to travel the world together.
So original.
And then you brought it up. Someone asks, well, what are you guys, right? Like,
Yeah.
are you
The
guys,
sister.
are you, in a relationship? Are you boyfriend, girlfriend? And what's the classic response?
We're not putting a label on it. We're just in love.
No labels. You see,
So bad.
we're just in love and we're going to go travel the world
If
together.
this is like foreshadowing what movies are going to look like from now on, I would probably never watch a movie again. If it's so in your face woke, so in your face immoral, so in your face just stupid.
All right,
It's
all
a
right.
bummer.
That said, have you guys seen 2021 Cinderella? If so, what were your thoughts? You can just be honest with us. If you have not seen it, what are your thoughts about the stuff that we're bringing up? Just share your thoughts in the comment section. Comment below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy hearing Morgan and I tackle these fun cultural topics. If you enjoy it, help us out with the algorithm. It really does help these type of videos, this video, reach more people.
And don't be sad, guys, that we're not talking about something way more serious in this video. Sometimes we just have to talk about lighter things.
I mean,
But honestly, this is kind of serious, so
Well-
take it seriously.
literally, last week we hit on
Texas.
the new law in
You
Texas.
can go watch that video if you want to. But
Pro-life, pro-choice. It got really deep, and honestly, it's getting roasted in the comment section. We got people over there that are pushing back big time. Get in if you guys want some real heavy. If you're like, this video wasn't that heavy, you want to get into some heavy conversations, hop over to that comment section.
your girl over here needs a break.
And that's
okay?
and I care about her mental health. So of a lighthearted video, well, we already plan on making this video, but
But praise God.
thank you guys for watching
Love you guys. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Catch you very soon. Have hope.
and be free. Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me,
Oh boy.
excuse me, excuse me,
Look what this movie's done
excuse
to
me,
this
excuse me,
guy.
excuse me, excuse me, excuse me.